So what else do you think we could use HoloLens for besides resizing porno videos on your wall?
What else do you need, man? That's if it only if it only did that, it'd be worth
more than $300 still. You're not supposed to tell them right off the bat that this is going to be a shitty episode, Fisher. Come on.
I mean, it's
nerds are going to be around forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we'll take over the world eventually.
Yeah.
It's like Disney versus porn. It's like, who's going to win? I don't know. That's an odd, this is an odd conversation that I never thought I'd have. I don't know.
That's a weird, duality in your mind.
I mean, yeah.
You have, the innocent Disney side, but then you also have that shameful side.
Jimmy hates the summertime for some weird reason.
Because it's dumb.
It's not dumb, man. It gets
dumb things suck.
Dumb things suck. We should make those t-shirts. Todd Pod, dumb things suck.
Yep.
Your best is stupid.
All right, and the Academy Award for laying an egg goes to Natalie Portman. I'm going to go with the Natalie Portman one.
All right, that was me.
That was because it was a...
She could probably drop a few eggs, huh?
I'd still...
You'd still what, Jimmy?
Befriend her.
Oh.
For her eggs.
I say lay with her in the biblical sense.
Nerds rule the world, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but...
Nerds will beat the jocks up one day.
Nah, I don't think they'll ever beat up the jocks, but, yeah,
They'll just be they'll just be cooler than the jocks.
Yeah, well, I mean, now the jocks are nerds as well.
Everyone's a nerd these days on something. We were talking about that before. It's like, you're just like a nerd for some sports team instead of nerd for Quake or nerd for Dungeons and Dragons.
But later,
he said hats for turtles. I don't know what that means.
We need to super glue these hats on these turtles.
Patrick, go to the pet store. Jimmy, go to the hat store. Asking the guy at Home Depot.
Yeah, go to Michael's or something.
Is this good for fabric on turtles?
Is this gonna kill turtles with it?
Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Thinking Outside the Pod anniversary episode.
Special, spectacular, electric boogaloo. Oh no, I guess it has to be a 2 in front of it, doesn't it? That'll be next year, I guess.
Yeah, year 2, electric boogaloo. Perfect, we got it. We'll just do that next episode.
Done. I mean, yeah, we got our idea already.
Perfect.
All right, we'll start working on it now.
Yeah, we'll need to because this was kind of a.
It'd be just a recap of this episode. So we're done.
Just replay it. It's that was a good time.
Yes, we remember that from 2 years ago.
Episode 52. It's been a year for the first year of Thinking Outside the Pod.
Man, that's pretty crazy. A year, jeez.
Yeah, and like I said before, it's the longest I've ever done one thing ever, I think. Well, maybe not school or something.
No, that's understandable. Like a project wise, exactly. I guess a continuous hobby or something like that. Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it was good not only because I had to stick to something,
sure,
but it helped me out just talking,
it's definitely listening back on some of the old stuff. I definitely noticed. I'm not as annoyed by my voice anymore. I guess since I've listened to it more, but also I think just I've become a better orator. I mean, plus with directing, and stuff like that. It's that's definitely something that you work on.
It's just practice. This is really just talking practice.
Yeah.
So and on one of the first episodes, or near the first episodes, whenever I introed something, I was saying welcome to Thinking Outside the Pod, and my name's Jimmy, and when I listened back, I was just cringing at how bad I was, and it probably still happens every once in a while saying but I think it's just knowing that I used to do that, now I don't as much, just makes me awesome,
definitely,
confident.
I think that's pretty much how any project goes. I mean, I think any, even YouTube videos and stuff like that, you look at some of the early ones and you look at, it just takes time. You learn how to get better and stuff like that. You learn new techniques. You learn, you get better equipment. You get, so much, and then it just slowly adds up to something better than it started.
And you learn your habits, and you try to stop doing any of the bad habits. Just over time, it just helps. So that's really good, and also just talking to other people. Helps out. So over the year, we've got to interview a lot of cool people.
Sure.
There's a lot of bands, comedian, filmmakers, and people that I would never have contact with because I'm not much of a social person.
Sure.
So this podcast really helped me talk to other people, and my interview skills aren't good. It takes a while to do that. We've only done like 7 or so interviews, so I'm still not that good at it. So
that's something that's definitely a skill that takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, a lot more practice than just talking into a microphone. You're actually having to converse and bring out stuff from other people. But I made like a quick package of kind of some cool points of top 5 interview history. Go ahead and take a listen.
Oh man, we got a real treat for you guys this week. Guild.
We've all been just kind of growing as individuals, really, just to kind of solidify what the name Guild stands for, which is, we're bringing something special, each one of us, a specialty to the table, and reinforcing it and trying a new direction. So this week, the first album, if anybody's listened to it or is going to listen to it here, it's pretty aggressive, and I guess, every band has its teenage angst, so to speak, versus, when you first start out. But this next album's kind of like the next evolution of where we're going and where we want to take people.
Zodiac Groove.
We just like to jam and let everybody experiment on each instrument. It's pretty cool. There's so many sounds that comes out of the band. There's 5 of us in the band, so that's like 5 totally different.
Do you guys
sounds.
wear like matching costumes when you jam?
Only from the knees down.
Oh. Hey. Bombs Over Berlin, Emily's Gone Mad, June with a Cleaver, and we got to speak with the owner.
Yeah, Michelle Ashmore and her daughters.
Jamie was a very amazing man.
I always remember Jamie just being so positive and always being very helpful, and he was definitely a face. It wasn't just a place, and it felt kind of like another home.
I mean, he looked at me, he's like, "Are you in the band?" "No, you should be." I guess I am one of them now.
I remember Jamie fondly just smiling most of the time because he's like, I get to just hang around musicians and stuff all day, which is what he wanted to do, which is commendable to execute your life plan of I want to help musicians.
And seeing his face when he'd watch us play, at the end of the night, he was always in a good mood, so it was really nice.
When things got a little too out of control at one of our shows here, I think somebody punched a hole in the wall in the corridor, and he was really cool about it.
Jamie was always right there. Jamie was always the man with the equipment. He was always a big inspiration to everybody, and it's kind of sad to see him go. It's good that we're having the show for him and paying honor to his memory and to his family.
Jamie was always there to lend an extra cable or, you fix something if it was going wrong. Pretty lenient as far as, it's like, I'm a little short today. He's like, get me next time. He cared about the music, and that's why he was in it.
It was, amazing for him to open up the place for us and just to have so many people here that enjoyed just having a great time.
Try and find that at a normal club, that's awesome. Like someone that cares that much to do that for other people.
We had our first show here, and I jump off the stage, and he comes up to me. He goes, "Oh my God, you're like Iggy Pop, but skinnier."
Mark Selzer.
I'll look at anything I see is interesting or different. I also don't think you have to go into an art gallery to see art. I think there's wonderful art out there, kind of stuck here and there in comedy and in rock music and in sometimes even television shows. There's some great stuff out there.
You just got to always be
find it.
Yeah, you always got to keep your mind
you
open.
won't find anything interesting in an art.
Jack Thomas Smith.
When it started for me, I was very young. I was 8 years old, and I was one of those kids sitting in the movie theater that saw the original Star Wars. So, when those ships went overhead in the opening scene, that was it. That was it. From that point forward, I knew that I wanted to make films. And then it was shortly after seeing the original Star Wars that I had read The Shining by Stephen King. I was probably 9 years old. I read The Shining. And that was kind of the combination. After reading The Shining, I knew I wanted to write. After seeing Star Wars, I knew I wanted to make films.
Fisherman. What would you guys classify your music style as, man? We were just listening to some of the stuff online a minute ago and trying to figure out what we would classify it as. But let's ask you guys that.
Yeah, as far as like a genre, because it's kind of out there.
Jeremy definitely wishes it was thrash.
I heard that in the background just a little bit. I was like, thrash.
We think. I mean, it's kind of a generic term nowadays because I think it kind of applies to everybody who's doing kind of anything, like kind of across the board that's alternative. But I guess like indie alternative music, we definitely draw from a lot of soul music influences, and we draw from a lot of rock influences as well. So we just, I don't know, people ask us, we just say indie. Sometimes like indie soul, sometimes we say like indie rock. It really depends on the set that we're playing. Yeah, even like indie gospel,
Indie gospel, there you go. Depends on the band you guys are jamming with.
All right, so yeah, a lot of the cool moments in the interviews. Unfortunately,
yeah, I kind of missed out on most of those. It was you guys did a lot of the band stuff before I even was on the podcast.
Yeah, I think your first episode was around 19 or so, and I think
something like
14, that. like 7, 9, and 14 or something were band interviews.
Yeah,
or schedule conflicts. Just but that's cool. I mean,
definitely, I would love to try to set up some interviews later. In the future, that's definitely something. Now that I have a little bit more free time, I'm hoping to start doing a little bit more things. I'd definitely love to do maybe some Skype interviews. If that's a later down the line type deal.
Well, no, definitely.
We'll have to see.
And I want to do definitely more interviews. And I've gotten some hits off of Twitter.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I just can't. We just don't have the time to really set up anything.
Sure.
Because it's all up in the air. But I'd really like to get more into the interviews, and broaden the spectrum of who we look for. Because
Sure.
I mean, bands are cool, and comedians and filmmakers I really like. But I mean, there's so many more types of professions out there that I want to learn about, like video game
definitely.
people, or people in comic book stores, or comic book writers, or things like that. I think that would be interesting.
That'd be great
just to talk to some of their experiences. So I think during this next year, I think that's going to become more and more important to me to kind of set up those kind of things.
We will try. We will give a good, honest try. We can't promise anything because it's life. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Exactly,
we will try to see what we can do, but we
will cast the net out and see what comes up.
We will see.
We'll
slowly, we will figure out what we can do with our spare time.
But other than that, I think another purpose of this anniversary episode is to kind of get into each other's minds, to kind of learn or kind of find out what your best experience is, or reoccurring themes that we always seem to bring up.
Oh man!
So we'll go ahead and get started with that. I think that's good a place to start as any, and we'll start with fishing.
Because they don't get any better. They go, okay, we just do enough new stuff, so it's kind of different, but it's essentially the same game over and over again, and that's never going to change until people stop buying the game. Yep. So what it means is you, consumer, are making video games suck.
Yep, it's your fault.
It's your fault. I don't remember it. That was
you remember.
Years ago.
He remembers. He has a poster of it.
I know.
It's your favorite.
Lindsay Lohan all over my walls, everywhere.
Would you like to live in a world where 90% female, 10%?
Well, as a slave, no. I mean, I don't. It depends.
Like a sex god?
Is it one? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is it one of those of where you're like, now men are like, awesome creatures. Where we're like, great. Now there's 9 women to me. And you're like, okay, great.
Yeah, it had been like Night of the Living Dead zombies the whole time before. It's just a slow, lumbering.
Oh, dude, this one is good here,
too. It makes you wonder how, when we watch those movies, it's like, just walk around them. But, I mean, it's just, people taking it too seriously. It's like, come on, we're all here to have fun. I mean, I know we're trying to climb, the ladders and stuff like that, but calm down, I mean, yeah, I know there's stuff that sucks about it, but just don't take it out on me.
I'll be your host this week, Patrick, and I'm joined by...
Jimmy.
And Foster.
Yep. We even got him saying it now.
I know. I guess I don't get a choice.
It is Brandon Foster Fisher.
The third. Quagmire. I don't know.
Quagmire the third.
Let's start adding, Esquire. Well, think of it. You can mass produce them. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Real flamingos?
Oh, no. Yes.
Foster can.
Well, you can mass produce.
He's doing
if you want.
He's mass producing real flamingos as we speak in his
flamingo
at the farm.
I'm going to use them as golf clubs.
Yeah. Send them to Mars, man. Tell them to figure out where the water is.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You're going to have to invest in flamingo spacesuits now.
Don't ever read the end user license agreement stuff.
Yeah.
Don't ever read those because some of that stuff on there is just terrifying.
All right, Fisher. So, in the mind of Fisher, we'll delve into the depths of your.
I don't even want to know.
Oh no, it's scary.
Yeah.
What would you say is kind of your most memorable moment of the podcast or experience?
I definitely think the most standout one is definitely what I think it was literally the first episode I was in, the goat milking techniques or whatever it was. Something with my teeth or something like that.
Yeah, it was. I think
Fisher Foster's secret family milking technique or something like that.
I mean, Patrick was the host, and he was asking, or he found a lot of like Yahoo questions, like funny questions, and you came out strong. That's
that was definitely when I was, I still wasn't quite used to just doing this.
Like,
I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw something random out there.
How far can I go out?
It was the stupidest thing that came to my mind. And I said, you know what? Forget it.
And
I was like, why not?
It made an amazing moment. Let's take a listen.
What's the best way to milk a sheep, guys?
With your hands?
Like a cow?
Yeah, I think that's there's sheep milk, right?
Gotta use your teeth.
You gotta use your teeth.
Yes.
Foster, who told you this?
I don't know. Ancient secret. What, goats or sheep or whatever.
Foster secret?
Yes.
Oh my lord.
Family secrets.
This one's not been answered, so maybe we should answer it with your answer. With your teeth.
Your teeth.
Oh my god.
That would
use
be a
your
good
teeth
one.
and then you do a nice slow twisting motion.
With your teeth, what are you doing with your tongue while you're using your teeth?
Gently flicking the teeth.
To withdraw the milk?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You have to spit it out real quick. You have about 2 seconds to get into the bottle.
What happens if you don't spit it out?
You don't want to know.
This is also Foster's sex advice. The exact same.
Yes.
By the way, I'm not actually this creepy.
How can we test if Foster is gay?
Make
him milk a sheep?
Making love is like extracting milk from a sheep. According to
my
Foster.
gosh, dude. That's the best thing I've heard you say in like forever, probably.
I gotta get a few.
Warning: do not do this to sheep.
No, it's not an actual
Foster's
advice.
opinions do not reflect Top Pod's.
Nah, none of these opinions.
We are not
reflect
responsible.
any of these.
Who knows what they are? I don't know.
We are not responsible for any sheep herdings.
For any sheep milking.
Oh man, geez, that was pretty strange.
You threw up your freak flag real quick into the
Well, I mean,
in
I
your
think
podcasting
I think
career.
that's part of the fun part is that it's one of those, that I think that's part of the reason we did it, so we can just, goof off and, say whatever, that's, I think that's, the fun part of doing a podcast.
This is all fun, and as of right now, we don't have to answer to anyone. I mean, because we have no people above us.
Yeah,
we try not to. I would assume we try not to go like taboo or like offensive.
We try not to. If we do say mean and harmful things, it's not because we're trying to be assholes. It's just it was a random thought that came to mind, and we just blurted it out. And, we usually try to be as politically correct as possible, or whatever you want to call it.
And
but,
I mean, in the moments of spontaneous times, sometimes we might go kind of off color, but it's bound to happen, and it's all in fun. It's like a lot of those things are just meant to be funny or witty or kind of poking fun at that kind of thought. But yeah, it's awesome. I think it brings out a lot of the funnier moments in the podcast. Speaking of the podcast, what would you say is kind of the thing that gets brought up a lot, like one of the most reoccurring themes that you can kind of think of?
Well, for me, definitely, obviously, video games. I mean, I'm definitely a huge video gamer, which is quite obvious. Or if you've been listening to us, I bring it up, I don't know, every single darn chance I can.
Yeah, and I mean, I think all three of us have a gaming history. Either maybe, I mean, you're probably most.
I still play video games, or you guys have played video games.
Yeah, exactly.
Not as much anymore, but I still.
So it's a big part of our past. So that's why we can connect to it real quickly. And anything that kind of comes up, we can kind of connect it to something.
Especially Pokemon. How many times we brought up Pokemon? Oh,
but let's take a listen to a quick package.
Montage.
Yeah, a montage of all the times and. Yeah, so let's just take a listen.
Take the darn clip. Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm primarily a video game nerd. Devil May Cry. If I play video games the night before, sometimes just aspects of video games will just pop up just in random places like Chrono Trigger. Because for me, I can't play Minecraft by myself. It's boring. It's just
it gets
all right,
boring.
I built this thing and...
That's it. GoldenEye and...
Remember Aladdin on the Super Nintendo? Big console gamer growing up. I mean, I first started with the Super Nintendo way back when I was 4 years old. Super Mario RPG.
A character that's an underdog that defeats something greater is a fucking legend.
Is not a legend.
Yes.
After you delete that save file, no one's going to remember you.
No, but you know what I'm saying? That's how you become legendary, bro.
Xenoblade Chronicles, Arma, it's a grinder mentality. You're like, oh, first mission? You're like, your character's like, oh, hey, this first story mission's 2 inches away from you. You're like, nope. I'm going this way.
Going backwards. Duke Nukem.
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga or something like that.
And like Pokemon, that was a big grinding game for me. Like any other Pokemon, like as far as the Game Boy portable games, that was I mean, and it was boring, and sometimes you're like, all right, I gotta level up this Pokemon, or I want to level up this Pokemon, so I'm gonna go in this grass patch, just walk around in circles
for hours.
Forever.
Yep.
And
Minecraft, League of Legends. Well, a new one came out last Friday, 2 Fridays ago.
Last episode we talked about the new Pokemon.
Really?
Alpha.
Why didn't y'all tell me?
Because you were off.
You were up.
Somebody should have called me, man. Come on.
They're awesome. I mean, you played through.
What's it on?
3DS.
Persona 4.
Crash Bandicoot. And like there's like a little arcade section. I play like the Simpsons or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games.
Oh yeah, I love those games.
So and like Lars Land.
Did you ever play that X-Men game? The one with
X-Men,
4 people? Like the Ninja Turtle one with like the 4? That was always cool.
Those games, and I never really, I play like a quarter and I'd maybe continue a couple times, but I never was really into any of the games, but it was always fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the other one that we had at work was NBA Jam and NFL Blitz.
Super Smash Brothers.
Killer Instinct's the game they need to bring back.
They did. I used to like fighting games until I got to college, and then I played with a few people who were really, really into it. And it's like, we keep playing or whatever, and like I finally beat them once, and they're like, we have to go again.
Yeah.
Until they beat me, and I'm like, all right, great.
That would be
sucks.
my thing.
I hate those.
I would learn how to play until I can beat everybody good.
Warcraft 3.
Yes. Played it. Never.
Star Fox 64 was
Fox
amazing.
64 is the bomb, dude.
Never played it.
You've got to try it, man.
I've only played Mario Kart.
From the very first time I played the Atari, I never had the Atari, but I remember playing it. The next thing that came up was Nintendo 1. I got that one. Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, stuff like that. Super Nintendo 64, I would just rock it all. PlayStation came out and blew my mind.
Yeah.
Got the PS2. And I think that was the last system I ever owned.
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask for Legend of Zelda. Because a game came out called Super Meat Boy.
That Armor Core game, I used to fucking love that because you could build your own mechs. And I'd make like a really, really light mech, but able to carry like the biggest, heaviest gunnery around.
Yeah.
So I'd like have the super boosters and I'd just start running up on shit and like flying.
I always loved having like the quad legs and stuff like that, and I'd hover around and stuff. I loved quad legs.
I was like just the smallest everything, the smallest, lightest legs, the regular legs, regular arms, regular everything. But he would have the most powerful boosters I could make him carry, the most powerful weapons I could make him carry. So I'd like once I got the fight started, you would just be like assaulted, like hardcore, and you would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I have the Atari 2600, so I was playing like Pitfall and Adventure and things like that.
So,
the best kind of people are gamers. So game that you
Super
remember.
Mario World,
Call of Duty and stuff, I never was really a fan of.
Destiny,
Halo, it was boring, but I mean, you just did it because I mean that's you playing the game to you're doing something to accomplish the next thing.
A game called Bayonetta 2.
And I used to play my little brother was the
guinea pig
for everything. It's like ever since he had to be Luigi his whole life, you know what I mean? So like ever since the Nintendo, he's been Luigi, and like every time we get games, I just sit there until I master it, and then I let him try to play, and then like I just demolish him. Yeah,
That's me and Madden with my younger Skyrim and Mass Effect.
The Flappy Bird game. What was the big deal about that game?
It's one of those games that are so simple but so hard.
Yeah,
it's like the first Nintendo games. Like
a lot of those are very hard,
really challenging.
Well, because what happened with Flappy Bird is a game that just kind of overnight got really, really popular. Assassin's Creed, Dragon Age, Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts.
When I'm playing video games, I'm into it, so I'm as near to the TV as possible.
Majora's Mask, Mario 64,
the Dance Dance Revolution games,
like Scribblenaught, DayZ,
Modern Warfare, Monster Hunter.
I think I like Twitch, man. If they would have had this shit when I was a kid, there's no way I would have gone anywhere.
I was gonna say, it definitely. Jeez, how long?
I can't get into it now because then I'll have like no life again, and that sucks.
You'd be like me and Jimmy. Persona Q,
Skyrim,
Tomb Raider.
So yeah, as you can see,
lots of video games. I was surprised when I heard this clip that Jimmy made. I was like, oh man, we really did bring it up all the time.
And those are just because the process I did was I went through all the episodes and kind of made like a chart of, or I made a list of everything we kind of talked about with the time code so I could cut it easier.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times because I didn't know we were going to bring up games. I knew we were going to, but I didn't know that was something I needed to cut for. So there's probably a lot that I missed. Yeah. So that was a long clip, and there was so much more that could have been in there. So, yeah, video games definitely is a big part of thinking outside the box.
I nerdified the podcast. That's mission
fine.
Accomplished.
That's fine. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, so very cool. I think we'll go ahead and jump over to some of my delve into my mind. My forgetful mind, but we'll get to it. So let's go ahead and start with meat.
I've been heart bled. My heart's been bled. Anything I do makes me sweat, so I'm like, oh crap, my shoe's untied. I better go get a paper towel. One day we'll be laughing at this. We already are. And that would be like the worst thing to have on your record. You're like, wow, you're one of those. I'd rather have like murder on my record than
attempt to hire a prostitute.
I guess. Bad. Sirens are coming out, just kill her. Like, no, I wasn't.
I didn't offer her sex. You'll never know because now she's dead.
I wasn't hiring a prostitute. I was murdering.
I was murdering prostitutes
because they're evil. Oh gosh.
That to yourself. That's stuff you do in your own time, Jimmy.
No, yep.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm doing it in front of her.
Oh my god!
Into people's ears.
So we're gonna have to censor some stuff here.
I'm extrapolating into some ears.
I don't even know what that is, but it does not sound good.
Well, you're about to find out.
All right, extrapolate, master. Oh. You know what happens if you hold it in too long, though? Then it drives you crazy. You gotta say that.
It's okay because I repress a lot of stuff, but I have a bad memory, so I just forget it. So
that's
all right.
Bad.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it works out.
I'll never Hulk out or snap because
I probably don't remember.
I get a blank slate every night. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Like the people that are like, I just ran 3 miles.
1,000 squats, bro.
Yeah, I just ran 3 miles, or I just ran 10 miles.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, cool.
We all hate you.
I just water-sized my order.
I just water-sized my order.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess you got to start going places, Jimmy.
Places are overrated.
No, man. There's like a whole fucking world outside your bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
I have a window to the world on my computer.
Oh my god!
So I don't have to go out.
Wouldn't you rather be at the Great Wall of China instead of just seeing pictures of it?
No, I heard the Great Wall of China is boring.
Really?
Yeah. Like once you see it, like same thing as with, like the Grand Canyon. Robots are better than humans. Whenever the Terminator future happens, you will be the first one to die. I will, of course, sell out humanity.
At least I'm
and
not.
live.
As long as you're not making sex to robots, I guess you're all right. Jeez, Jimmy.
You don't know what the future's like, man.
I don't want to know now. I don't want to know. Just change the subject.
So those were some of my quotes.
A lot of definitely all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that I really like and bring up a lot, but I can pretty much talk about anything. Well, now I
sure,
can
definitely
can even though I kind of curve it to my interests a lot.
Yeah,
like movies,
sure.
and some current events. I mean, we're in that business, so that's always
you definitely are a keeper of current events better than
Yeah,
Patrick.
And movies. I always can relate anything to movies.
Because you've been working on your blog and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You've been doing that. So
growing up, anytime there was free time, I would go to the movies.
Yeah.
I'd watch movies, and even these days, even though I don't go to the movies as often, I still get them somehow and watch them.
we really don't ask.
Yeah, but yeah, so and that's it. Kind of relates to my my most memorable moment, or one of the times I think we got into a really good discussion about something. It was about the movie The Interview.
Oh yes, I remember
James Franco and Seth Rogen about the North Korea thing, and it sparked a lot of conflict around the world, and tensions were high and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and take a listen to that.
Sparked by the assassination of that one guy, Franz Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then World War II.
Explorer?
No.
The band?
The band. No, he was the Duke of
Earl?
Wales or something like that? Or some
Austria
European,
or something.
yeah,
Duke
I
of
can't
Sandwiches?
remember. My history is horrible. It was some European country or something like that.
Yeah, Earl of Sandwich. So yeah, that was World War One. World War II was Hitler invading Poland, right, or something like that.
Yeah,
pretty much sparked essentially.
Or wasn't it Pearl Harbor?
We got in because of Pearl Harbor.
We got in after Pearl Harbor, but yeah, it was Hitler.
I guess so. The war was
beginning
around. Before.
Yeah, it was way
we
before
got into
things
it.
War. It didn't really get popular until America got into it.
Yeah, of course.
we were not
we're pop culture, baby.
We're not the trendsetters on
Even
World War
in
II.
war.
And then World War III. I mean, that'd be funny. So it's like assassination, invasions, and bombings, and then it's like a movie.
Yeah. You're like, it started over a dispute over a movie.
A movie with not even a serious movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Well,
could you imagine? That'd be crazy.
I'd
You
be
look
like,
50 years from now, and you're like,
like
war was
5
caused
years
by
from
friggin'
now.
Seth Rogen.
5
You're
years
like, oh my
from now,
God.
I'd make a movie about how Seth Rogen and James Franco turned this into the World War IV or III or whatever World War it would have been.
Man,
what was the Gulf thing considered World War III, or was it just a conflict?
I think it's just a conflict.
There
hasn't been
there wasn't like back and forth. It was just like us fucking them up, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not much into the recent history stuff.
All the recent wars and stuff. No, that was not World War III because it's just between us and the Middle East and stuff like that, Afghanistan.
That's
and
true. Yeah,
Iraq and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a conflict.
No, that was not World War III. I mean, that's definitely wars for us, but yeah, definitely not World War III.
So then, if we get into it with these guys, we do World War III, huh?
It depends.
Well, it could. North Korea does it have allies really?
Well, the issue that we're going to have is if think of it, if we go and invade North Korea. I mean, luckily we're allies with South Korea, but I think the issue is China.
Are they on North Korea?
I don't think they're on North Korea.
China is communist as well, and they're the ones that back a lot. That's why nobody's fucked with. That's why nobody's fucked with them yet, because they've got a fucking Chinese army behind them. Plus, who do you think sells them all the fucking high grade weapons that they bring in? You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, it's definitely one of, we have to be very careful, because if it could, if it does escalate into a war, you got to remember China's sitting there pretty freaking close, and that's
and they got like 3 people for every one of us
or
something.
We owe them like billions of trillions of dollars.
Yeah, they probably own a quarter of the United States.
If they embargo us or something,
they fucking make everything.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely So, I mean,
It's
if it was
possible.
us versus North Korea, we would more than likely win. But then if China decides to rear
We'd
its
not
head,
only
then we're in
go
trouble.
broke into debt, but we'd also owe them still, and then we'd be getting killed by them.
Yeah. So I mean, it has the potential
But I mean,
to become
fuck that.
something
If
really
something
bad.
went down with China, I would just say bomb the fuck out of both of those countries. Turn it all into sand and glass.
Dude, and they're
For
gonna
real.
shoot-
That's like the worst thing
No,
ever.
what's-
Turn them
They
both
have
into
nukes
sand
as
and glass.
well.
I know, that's why we got to strike first.
So they're going to shoot shit at us. We're going to shoot shit at them, and then now both of our countries are going to be big
And
giant.
any of our
desert.
allies. So we got Great Britain now in the fight, and France in the fight, and they're Russia's things. They got Cuba and or whatever. I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
but
so I mean,
there's so
supposedly
many allies,
free, but they
and-
still act communist, I believe.
So it kind of becomes it's one of those of we get in war with North Korea, then we maybe get in war with China. I don't know. It depends on how friendly they are with each other.
Well, I got
and
an
maybe
idea.
We piss off
send,
Russia
we
too
send
at the same time. So.
bomber jets to North Korea, and we send like 2 nukes to China on the same time. That way, by the time our jets get there, China's gone. You know,
great!
it's
So
like-
it's going to take a lot more than 2 nukes
Yeah,
to take
two-
out
it
China.
would be, yeah, it would be.
well, if you hit them in like strategically spats, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's still not going to do jack shit. You do realize how big China is, right?
All right,
Pretty
5 nukes.
It's probably going to take more than that.
Yeah, I mean, we have thousands.
All
of
right,
nukes,
we
so
send a fucking space ray to pull in a meteorite the size of China and do like a fucking
And we
global
just- we
destruction
say,
like the
"Screw it,
dinosaurs.
We'll just kill everybody. Yeah, all right, there we go. All right, we took care of China. Now
we should
now
start
it's us.
building an underground bunker, probably, guys.
I think we need more than an underground bunker.
Yeah, we should just make amends with everyone and just.
We need like an underground
We'll
Noah's
just die.
Ark to
Hey,
survive.
we're your friends. All right, now we just blow up the entire Earth.
Hey,
Ha-ha.
we're your friends. What was that movie? When Mars attacks, we mean you no harm.
So that was the conversation about that, and luckily, nothing, at least on a worldwide basis, didn't really. Nothing happened. Luckily,
I mean, no bombs went off. We're not in a nuclear, fallout. North Korea's still here. We're still here. So, I mean, luckily, no wars.
Yeah, some Sony executives got fired and stuff like that. But,
Sure.
But other than that, I mean, and that was like because of the email leak that happened around that incident. But that's really the biggest thing. And I mean, we still don't like North Korea, and
unfortunately, there's not. Yeah, that's going to be a hard sell. I guess like it's like come on.
Yeah,
there's going to have to be a lot of change.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
But well, I mean, I don't know. The one thing I think that may have came out was the idea of a new type of distribution for movies, doing the streaming, the pay to stream or whatever, instead of going to the theater, which I would love that because it's now.
Well, like Netflix is growing more and more.
Sure.
So that kind of system of getting something streamed right directly to the consumer instead of having distribution to like the movie theaters and things like that. It's really like independent filmmakers and things like that. Now they have a chance to reach a consumer base. So
I think if they push for it, I think there's a market for it. Sure. I mean, like people like you and me really don't want to go sit in the theater, all that time. It's like we can just watch it at home.
Yeah, on our time and when we want to do it.
Sure.
And because of the convenience and because of people actually listening to us, we're more likely to pay. So I think it's going to be. I think it's it was a bad situation for some people, and it was bad that I haven't looked much into it recently, but like, still, do we know who did it or anything like that?
I didn't hear anything afterwards. It was all the accusations, and then after it, they never really.
Yeah, they
confirmed anything.
Exactly. So it was bad that a big business got hacked into, and a lot of personal information was lost from like the employees. But I mean, it did expose some of the things that a lot of people thought about Hollywood and stuff like that. So that was a big kind of event that I think was a good thing. It was a good conversation that we had. So and I guess the reoccurring theme that I always come up to, and it's kind of scattered anyway, it's kind of just like the arguments that.
Oh, geez, you and Patrick fighting about stuff all the time.
We're just so different people, like so different. He's more outgoing, I'm more introverted. So I cut like a little package and kind of explained like all that kind of, or I kind of went through a few of the arguments that kind of kept coming up. Yeah.
or one of us will win, Patrick or Jimmy.
Yes, Team Patrick or Team Jimmy.
I don't think they can do an honest to goodness Hulk.
But like when you have David Banner, like, falling to the ground, and they zoom in his eyes, and they're changing colors, and then like a puff of smoke, and it's freaking Lou Ferrigno in some like tight purple pants. Dude, it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Maybe it's good for 70s, but no. Today I can't.
Good forever, Jimmy.
Can't imagine it being good. You can't do the Hulk without CGI.
Yeah, you can.
Lou Ferrigno,
dude,
he was beloved, maybe,
he's a
but
beast, man. Come on, man. You would not be saying that if he was standing here right now.
Of course not. I'm a nice person, but
no, F that. Yeah, something about some self-preservation. Like, oh yeah, I love your films, Mr. Ferrigno.
Please don't kill me.
But
please don't kill me.
But no,
like 80 years old and still beat all three of us.
You can't paint a bodybuilder and say he's the Hulk. I mean, it just wasn't right.
I would go to the moon still. Fuck Mars.
What? The moon? I would think Mars is better than the moon.
You really?
Yeah, moon's just a moon. It's just dead up there.
Well, so the fuck is Mars, man?
We're colonizing it. You'd be just one guy walking around the moon being like, what's up? Cool flag, I guess. Whatever.
Cool flag.
But on Mars, I mean...
What do you think? There's more shit to do on Mars?
There's women. There'd be women going.
Martian women?
No.
Oh, okay.
Human women. I mean, I don't know. I haven't researched it. I wonder what the ratio of men to women would be up there.
So you just like have sex forever?
Yeah, and
then
you die. And on Mars and until you're dead,
and then your kids would die.
Yeah.
Well, that's like what I'm always telling you about Star Wars being better than Star Trek. Come on now, man. One Jedi on the Enterprise and it's done for them. You know what I'm saying?
What?
So you're going to tell me Captain Kurt or one of your boys could take on Obi-Wan? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
No, man. Not even
just
the whole
one
Starship.
Jedi. One Jedi.
Dude, that's all you need is one Jedi.
Star Trek has way much more content, so that's why.
Dude, there's plenty of aliens in Star Wars as well. You know what I'm saying?
But there's 6.
But there's also fucking Jedi.
There's only 6 movies. Like that's the thing.
Well, because they know when to stop. You know what I'm saying? Gee whiz! After the Last Generation, they just started going. You know what I mean?
No, there's good episodes.
I haven't watched Voyager or what next?
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine. Oh my God! What the fuck are you talking about?
No, that's the good stories. I mean, they're all good, and they've raised a lot of questions, and that's what I like. I like watching.
They don't know when to stop, is what I think. It's like, come on, man. Star Trek was great in the 70s. So was Star Wars, but Star Wars is just like, maybe we should chill. The only bad part about
Star
Wars
them now
is that Walt Disney bought it. That I cannot believe for the life of me.
You really didn't like that?
I can't like that.
There's going to be more movies now.
Yeah, but they're all going to have like Little Mermaid fucking fairy tale stories involved. You know what I'm saying? Give me a break, man.
Mickey Mouse is going to come into this universe.
Yeah, no, dude. A crossover with Yoda and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
They're going to make Mickey a fucking Jedi just because they can.
Star Trek isn't owned by Disney. So.
Yeah, but Trekkies are idiots.
No.
So is William Shatner's a fraud.
Why is he a fraud?
Spock is like the coolest one. Well, how about you start dressing like Star Trek and I'll dress like a Jedi? You dress like Spock and I'll dress like a Jedi.
Easy. I'd win at that. You're in a robe?
Yeah.
You wear a robe everywhere? I wear pants and a shirt.
Yeah, some shitty pants and shit. You might as well be a nerd fest.
Yeah, Star Trek, the best star-based franchise ever.
Nope.
Yep. Title of the movie is Batman or Superman versus Batman.
Yes, which I think Superman would wipe him up. Superman's an alien. Bruce Wayne is a man.
Yeah, and you're going against humanity. What a traitor.
No, fuck that. Superman, that's his name. Come on, man. Batman's got no chance. He's not a Superman.
They're not going to finish the fight. Of course they're not going to finish the fight. It's stupid.
Because then they couldn't make any more fucking Batman movies. Yeah. They should finish the fight if Affleck's going to be Batman.
Oh my gosh. He's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
If I was Superman, I'd just hold Batman and let all the other Batman villains just fuck him up. Like, for real. Superman could kill Batman.
Well, that's like the age-old...
But the funny thing is you say Superman can kill Batman, but every time they fought, Batman's always won.
One-on-one, without any gadgets, in a fist fight.
Superman would kick the fuck out.
Well, if you take away the gadgets, of course.
Yes.
Well, then in that same thing, Superman, you take away all his powers.
No. I mean, as just people to people, like Superman doesn't have to use. Like, tell him he can't use his X-ray vision.
No, he can't use his power. Batman's
he has no
powers.
powers. He's as dense as he is because he's from outer space. You know what I mean? He doesn't. He can't pull his punches to fucking fight.
Well, okay. Now, if you take away the sun, think of that. If you do a completely dark enclosed environment, then probably Batman.
The thing is, like I said, Superman versus Batman. Now, with all the gadgets, it's fine. That's cool. That's what makes him who he is. But without those gadgets, he's fucking done.
Well, no shit. Nobody would win against Superman. You're like, oh, hey, let's have nothing that makes you special and go up against a super god-like being.
He can still fight. Batman is a hell of a fighter.
But still. But it's like, there's a limit.
There's no chance in hell he can have anything to do with that.
Of course.
Yeah.
You can't.
So back to what we're talking about.
Me and Fisher were talking about this. We don't understand how you play Pokemon way different than us. We grind our Pokemon to death before we fight anything.
No, man, I get them to like the few levels till they get to
get
that.
Like if I know the guy's Pokemon is playing is like a level 20 or something like that, I don't even attempt to go to him if I'm not like double his
Dude,
thing.
that's where we're different. I'm balls to the walls. This is how a character that's an underdog that defeats something greater is a fucking legend.
Is not a legend.
Yes.
After you delete that
Yes.
save file, no one's going to remember you.
No, but you know what I'm saying? That's how you become legendary, bro.
I would beat you then. If we played Pokemon together, I would beat you.
No, man, I'm telling you.
If you got a level 30 Pokemon, I would get a 60.
No, dude. Every time I went to the gyms to battle the people, whatever level they were, I was at least 5 to 8 levels lower. And I would go through all my, like, sometimes I lose like every but one Pokemon, and then I just use 2 Pokemon to keep each other alive at the end. And I end up beating the guy, with like one fucking PP move point left or like something.
That's too stressful for me.
Dude.
I play those games casually and
then after, what do you think of over here? Like, yes. You're like, no.
That's not how I play. I think that's not how most people play that game.
Well,
most people
right,
grind. I've never struggled in Pokemon at all. That game is so easy to me.
You don't know the way it feels to be able to win something like that, man. It's fucking amazing.
So yeah, as you can see, pretty much on a lot of different levels.
All the time. Jeez, you two are like a married couple or something. Jeez.
Yeah, like anything that comes up, it's bound to Patrick's going to think one way, I'm going to think another. And even if we agree on something, we're somehow going to skew it to Star Wars or Star Trek or something like that.
The classic argument: Star Wars versus Star Trek.
The two different types of nerds. But yeah, and that's fine. I think that's good. I would hate to just be in a conversation with someone that agrees with everything.
Oh, that'd be boring. You're like, oh man, there's no controversy, no arguing. Oh
yeah.
Man,
just be a lot of yeah. I like Star Wars as well.
Well, it's like because like with arguing, the most fun my friends and I had is when we were at PAX South earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
When we were we found this one card game that they were selling out there. What was it, Battle Cards or something like that? I can't remember what the game was called.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, you got like a fighter and then like a couple attributes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you're supposed to do is 2 players would go up against each other, and you're supposed to argue whose character with these attributes would win in a fight.
That's awesome.
I have never seen me and my friends nerd rage as hard as that. We were
for something so arbitrary.
Hey, but we also learned out of my friends I was the best storyteller.
Nice.
I could pull stuff out of my ass really bad.
That's cool.
And I won a lot of points just because of just creativity. I just made them laugh so hard. They're like, all right, this is stupid. This would never win, but all right, you win.
Oh, man, I think that would be fun.
I would love to look into it, see if we could, we'll do like a goof video or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a really fun game. I mean, it was our first time playing, so we found out afterwards that we played it completely wrong. But still,
that's fine.
I mean, I think we're pretty close to losing a couple of friendships there. I mean, you could definitely tell people were extremely salty because they're like, "Oh, this doesn't make sense," and then afterwards we're like, "Well, since you got that bullshit," and I'm like, "No, I'm not going to let you get this bullshit now." It was real funny. We had to stop because we were just like, you know what? we're getting way too into this.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a really good game. So, and over the year, we did do an episode with Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, that's always fun too.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, you weren't here for that one.
No, that was a little bit before.
So we're not opposed to playing some games, and we want to do more video. So I think that's like a perfect.
Sure, because we'll find that I'll come up with a way to make it a little bit more interesting than just a still shot of us just playing.
Yeah.
I'll see what we can do. I've got a couple ideas in my head. It's just finding the time to do it is the issue.
Yeah. Time is always going to be an issue for us. But I think it's getting a little bit better. I think schedules are finally settling down.
Yeah.
And maybe there'll be some new things that kind of help us with new hires and stuff like that.
We'll see what happens.
Exactly. So, like me and Patrick debating. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today for the episode, but we talked to him earlier and got some of his ideas and stuff. So we'll go ahead and jump over to Patrick and some of his things.
Thoughts.
His thoughts, exactly.
Yeah, I've heard that too, because there wouldn't have been that time machine there.
My boy Tyson Chandler Chicken, what's his name? Tyson Chicken, Tyson Neil deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Tyson Chicken Nuggets are what I was thinking about. And Tyson Chandler. He's a basketball player, my bad.
Wow.
Neil Armstrong, Tyson. Neil.
You can do
DeGeneres Tyson.
Yep. Perfect.
He was the coolest.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
deGrasse. He wrote a book about black holes, man. Middle school, high school, we took a field trip to SeaWorld when it first opened, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped my watch into the water, and I started leaning over the side to try to grab it because it didn't look that deep. Little did I realize, this is like deeper than I thought it was. So I drop it, and I'm like reaching over the thing, about to like go head first into the water. When my teacher notices what's going on, she runs over and pulls me out. She's like, "Patrick," and I'd already been like neck deep into the water. So then after that, I felt like a connection with the dolphins.
Oh no!
They would come up and I'd see they look at me with a little eye, and I'd be like, "Dolphin, yeah, get my watch, you motherfucker." Now they kept it for themselves. He put it on his fin, and I never saw the watch again. I mean, I just wish if you're going to throw up on Lady Gaga, throw up on her face, throw up on her head. I want to see like the you can't do that on television slime just like rain down on her. I don't want to see like some chick like spit up tablespoons or cupfuls of like this green stuff and miss like her apron altogether.
Yeah. Oh, I'm infected too.
Oh my God, I'm the only normal motherfucker around here.
We need to cough.
Sure.
That's good. That's the first. That's the first.
We need to cough on Patrick.
Ooh, don't lick me, guys.
Or I don't know, take out.
If you do, just at least make sure it's on my nipples. I got two of them, and there's two of you guys.
Oh no.
Where's the video cameras?
Oh no. Yeah. So next time you see us, we're gonna
be rich,
be decked out. We're gonna
kiss the rings, bitches.
Have fur coats. It's summer. Who cares?
Yep. I don't like to wear anything under my fur coat.
Oh.
We're not politically correct here.
I'm not racist. I hate everybody the same. Let's Google Plus take off fucking uploads from cell phones.
Automatic
uploads are bullshit. But the other thing was, isn't this the way that like every hardcore zombie movie starts out? Do you think Kate Upton's had plastic surgery?
Gosh,
he's
segue
right
king.
Segue king. We're not even finished with the first topic. We're already segueing to the next. Oh man.
So those are some of the quotes over the year.
Favorite stuff. Oh man.
Yeah. So
interesting stuff there.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's very different than me. That's
yeah.
That's
oh no.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, definitely. And that's what I think makes this podcast fun is that we're all a little dirty, but we're all extremely different.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what you need. I think that's what makes more of an interesting production.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of that like three different types of nerds. We have like the movie nerd, we have the video game nerd, and we have like I guess music or design. I mean, music kind of. He's not all over the place on that, but he like sports. I guess. Of the three of us, he's more sports.
Yeah.
I mean that kind of thing. So
yeah, I have zero sports. I mean, I used to play sports all the time, but I got I'm like I don't like to watch it. I'd rather play.
Yeah. I used to play it as well when I was younger. But as far as following people and knowing things, I'm not much. I mean, I won the fantasy football league, which was
humble brag.
Which was but Patrick is much more knowledgeable on history of sports and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like the mainstream type of nerd, whereas I mean he's more of the upfront type, and we're kind of in the background, like video games.
Sure, yeah.
And movies in the garden.
More the nerds who live in your grandparents' basement.
Exactly.
There,
That's
sure. I mean,
that's us.
That's a very bad stereotype, and I definitely, I do not see a problem with living in your grandparents' basement. No, if that's what you do, that's what you do.
But one of the things that does kind of unite us, and Patrick kind of brought it up on one of the episodes he hosted, was kind of like television, and knowledge and documentaries and things like that. He brought up a kind of a big controversy that kind of happened this year about or last year.
I guess it'd be
about Shark Week, Discovery Shark Week, and how they were doing some fake documentaries, playing it off as real and paying actors to act like scientists and things like that.
Come on.
So I cut a clip of that episode. We'll go ahead and take a listen.
This last week, Discovery Channel had the whole Shark Week all week. I remember, every year they have this about the mid to end of August. This year, it just kind of killed my Shark Week buzz, like hardcore. Some of the stuff I was seeing on Shark Week, all over online, you can find stories. If you just go to Google and Google Shark Week or negative Shark Week responses, you can find a whole list of people that are just saying, like, dude, Shark Week is done for, man. Like,
yeah. I saw a headline. Didn't read the story, but it was like Shark Week has jumped the shark.
Where, like, as before, you would see shows about, like, new things they've learned about sharks, or, like, hypothesis or theories that they're going out into the ocean to test.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it's more like, oh, I survived the shark attack, and then the next show right after, it's like, I survived the shark attack part 2. And it's like, the whole thing about some of the documentaries that Discovery Channel has put out as of late, they're kind of losing a whole section of scientists, man. Like, scientists are kind of starting to get fed up with this stuff because a lot of it is lies. There was a documentary that they released about mermaids. These two kids on the coast, they took some video footage on like a little shitty cell phone, and they find this net with what appears to be like a half of a woman, like from the torso up, until they get a little closer, and then they notice that there's like this weird-looking fishtail behind her. So the kid starts poking it with a stick, and he's like, "Oh, what is that?" And then at the last minute, he's like, see her jump up and like scare the kids, and then you just see the cell phone like start doing Blair Witch Project, and they're running away. And what bothers me is that they set it up to be like a real show. You can obviously tell it's bullshit, and they're sitting there like trying to give it credit,
things like that. I mean, I understand what they're going for, but it's pretty much insulting the audience. Like, they're dumb enough to believe this is real. So that's what I don't like.
Last year, Discovery Channel faced criticism for its Shark Week special, Megalodon, the monster shark that lives. They're like searching for Megalodon. They have this big fake whale decoy. They chum the hell out of the water around it, and then they have a cage in the water next to the decoy whale. So that night, they start hearing like something starts happening in the water. So everybody starts like moving around. You see the camera get all excited. The camera follows these two divers into the water. This female and this woman and this man. They get into like a little those little like inflatable boats with an engine on it, like a raft type thing, and they split from the boat over towards where the decoy is with the cage. Mm-hmm. They get into the water and they both climb into the cage. And the guys are like, all right, we got something. And you see the guys all running into the control room of the bigger ship. All of a sudden, the ship gets hit again really hard. Everybody's like, what's going on? It's like, we don't have any signal. We can't communicate. It's like pandemonium, chaos. And everybody's like thrown over. So when they get back up and they're looking and they go out to the deck of the boat and they put the lights back there, and the whale decoy is missing and the cage is gone. So then a few minutes later, they're moving the light and they find the woman come up. They see her over there. So the little boat, they drop them off, goes over and picks her up. And then they comes back around and they pick up the dude. And like in between the shots of this stuff, they have like the woman sitting down, and she's like, "I was scared for my life," you know. And then you see like the profile shot, and then like the close-up shot. She's like, "I just didn't want to be in the water anymore. There was something huge in there with us." And then the same thing with the guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it was awful." And then the show ends, and he's like, "Well, we still don't have any evidence that Megalodon exists because we didn't have the hardcore proof we wanted. We didn't see it,
Yeah,
but
so
we
it's
know
like-
something's out there."
Yeah. Like you wasted an hour of my life, Discovery
Yes.
Channel.
Yes, man, and I mean that's why people get so upset.
I think it's just Discovery's version of reality shows. Shows that
you mean like
obviously-
unreality?
Yeah, that aren't reality, but reality, and they're just trying to get some of those kind of viewers that like that kind of stuff. Those editors and producers on those types of shows know how to get people hooked. So
Man.
it's an art form, I guess.
See, it's stuff like that where it's like, I like to see hard proof on this kind of stuff before, they're trying to say megalodons are still around. I don't know. Could they be? Sure. I doubt it. Can imagine.
Until they actually find a body of one and bring it up. Baking like with stupid CGI effects isn't gonna. It's just gonna make you look stupid. Passing it off as real is ridiculous. They can still say like this is the video. This is like a dramatic reenactment or something, or just kind of make it. This is what it would look like. So they can go that route, and I think it'd be the same. It'd be better.
Better,
than
yes.
Faking it.
If next year Shark Week does anything similar to what they've been doing the last couple of years, I'm going to start a fucking online petition about this shit. I'm going to write an email to somebody, I swear.
Yeah. Well, I think because of all this backlash, I think they'll change. They just need to go back to Discovery Channel. Just talk to real scientists about sharks, and you can have like the crazy shows like the shark attack things because people like that, or just see like the.
But that kind of
like,
got to like a more of a like there's a lot more of them now. It's like we don't have any science to talk about, so we're going to talk about all these people. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been attacked.
The few times I watched it, I saw there were more sciencey channels. Like I saw like they had a bunch of scientists. What they were doing is they're trying to see if you could basically kind of put sharks into a coma by basically rubbing their nose.
The zombie shark one? Have you heard of
that's
that?
it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And that was really cool because they were sitting there and they were rubbing the sharks and literally they'd go
Yeah, they
vertical.
say when they stand the shark up, they say it throws off their internal GPS, their like magnetic field or something, and like they just get catatonic.
Yeah,
it was really cool. And I was sitting there watching it, and you just see the shark just slowly go vertical, and then it just sits there. And
But
you're
the
like,
name zombie shark, you know what I mean?
I mean,
It's
that's
like,
that's a weird
zombies are
name.
all-
I mean, they got to make it appeal to people. I mean, I can understand why. It's like I wouldn't say zombies, just but I mean, it was definitely cool. I mean, it was cool watching it.
Yeah. So I think they can salvage it, but it'll just take them listening to all these people saying like what they're doing wrong, and then just go by and fix it. They can, like I said, they can have the crazy things in there. Like people like seeing like the sharks being sharks attacking decoy seals and things like that.
yes.
So they can have that, but then also throw science in there so people can at least learn and real stuff instead
Real
of
stuff.
this fake crazy stuff.
Just keep it real. Yeah, I mean,
Discovery Channel's got to clean up its act. They gotta do something right before next season's Shark Week, and then make sure next season's Shark Week is going to kick some serious ass, because I'm really not planning on watching it if it's going to be bullshit again. What do you think, Jimmy?
I agree. Same. Yeah, we've said it this whole episode. They have to make some changes. Listen to your audience. They're the people that are making your living for you. So
fake stuff making cool stuff not cool anymore.
Yeah, man. I like that.
So yeah, that was a big deal. I mean, a lot of people, the internet kind of got into a fit about it, as they do, as they do. Well, because it is a Discovery Channel, a channel that's meant to teach us stuff.
Yeah,
lying.
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you expect that from reality TV, quote unquote reality TV.
Yeah.
You expect definitely it to be a little bit made up. But Discovery Channel, no, I go there to learn about science and maybe a little bit about biology, that kind of stuff. That's why you watch it, is to learn.
Exactly. And one of the good things that they did, they said they were sorry. They apologized for it, and they said from now on, yeah, exactly. So you never really see that from a lot of the reality shows. They're never going to apologize for.
No, but that's also, unfortunately comes with the genre.
Exactly,
that's kind of if you're expecting, that stuff to be completely real.
Yeah,
it's
if you
like
think the Kardashians are real, then
they're real people, but definitely there's a little bit of acting behind there, and definitely a lot of editing, like that.
Yeah, so Discovery Channel, good on them. They said they're sorry, and they're gonna try to strive for keeping it real. So
let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. I hope they do. I mean, I hope they.
Yeah, because Megalodon and Mermaid saying we have this real footage.
I was gonna say you can talk about that. You can talk about the legends behind them and stuff like that. And then if there's maybe some sort of proof that they existed, yeah, sure, do that. Find a scientist that talks about them. But yeah, don't just sit there and say, we have actual Megalodon video and here it is, and it's obviously a CG giant shark thing.
Yeah, so good on them for changing. We'll see. I mean, that's it hasn't happened yet. So. And this might spur me on to watch it. I mean, sure. I haven't watched it in a while because it's always been like Shark Attack and documentaries, fake documentaries. So maybe this year I might jump into it. And
let's see what happens.
Exactly. So
or at least let's watch it just to see if they keep their promise. That'd be kind of interesting.
So that's kind of one overlapping theme that we have with Patrick, like that kind of stuff, wanting real stuff. But one of the things that I think we both differ from him a lot is his insistence on not wanting to wear pants.
I don't understand it. Listening to the clips, we found out he's brought it up a lot. So I was surprised at how much it's been brought up.
A lot. So this is just a package of clips of Patrick just going on and on about
no pants.
Hopefully I just need to steal enough to retire to some I don't know, nudist colony in some beach in Central America somewhere.
Oh, Patrick just hanging out with all the old people. He's like, no pants, this is awesome.
I love this place.
So you're my best friend.
This is my dream.
I get to drink beer and not put clothes on. And the water's so close. Oh no, I've been close to the Grand Canyon. I don't remember if I ever saw it. I just want to get really hammered and zip line down that sucker.
Oh no.
No, with no pants.
Oh, that's you. That's you.
There was a pantless character. Sign me up.
Funny that you mentioned shirtless streamers. There actually are people on there to do that, so that's already taken a market.
How about pantless? I wish I could punch the person who invented pants as well.
I think they invented pants because it made it easier to ride horses or something like that. I didn't read the story yet.
Yeah, you know what? All right, I can get along with that. But we should have gone outlawed pants as soon as people stopped riding horses.
Yeah,
only for cowboys.
As soon as the car was invented, the rise of the car, the downfall of the pants.
Yes. In another news, the stock of pants has plummeted to an all-time low.
It's why can't we just enjoy nature and just not do anything?
Run around with no pants.
Oh, that's why.
No pants.
I understand.
Now you get it. I got a brown moon. I'll show you everybody later.
Whoa. Oh, he's doing it. Oh.
It's a little lighter than my skin, because it doesn't see the sunlight very often.
Get a boat.
Yes, finally.
That's
no pants.
Oh no. Pirates wear pants. Man, it's a reoccurring theme for you, man. No pants, Patrick.
I wish I could walk around with no pants more. Yeah. When I had my own place, I was never clothed. Never.
As soon as you walk in the door.
I had all this clean laundry, man. I never had to do laundry. It was amazing.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. I guess nudists don't have to do that.
Saved a ton in flip-flopping fabric softener, man. If I could, I would, man. I can't stand it. I feel so
constricted.
Yes.
Limited. This is limiting my freedom. These pants.
Man. I'm sitting here with no pants right now. You guys can't tell.
See. I can, and I will vouch that it's uncomfortable, to say the least.
No.
I think you said that last episode as well.
Oh, this is like a theme now.
I think we're getting
to
some
problem.
I think this whole podcast is just a ruse for me to psychoanalyze you.
Oh, that's what's going on.
We're getting into some root of your problems.
It's not a problem. I mean, come on. Who out there would not like to wear pants anymore? I mean,
oh yeah.
So constricted.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
like we said, a lot of clips, and it's like almost every episode, even when it's not warranted. I mean, I don't know.
Even
if
when
it's
he's not
ever
here,
warranted.
he's probably sitting there talking about no pants, or he's sitting there without pants.
Without
Who knows?
pants. Just being happy.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's
not unconstricted. I guess that's what he always says.
but yeah, it's limiting him.
Limiting, yeah. Oh,
but so that's fine, I guess. You
Sure.
you can do whatever you want, I guess.
Well, when you're
Maybe not in public.
when you're in your own place, do it. No, yeah. Please don't be around me with no pants.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, so that's Patrick. So that's fine.
Hey, that's part of it. Hey, that's what makes it important.
Exactly. So but yeah, that's kind of each of our memorable moments and kind of things that we like or bring up a lot. So but yeah, so I had a lot of fun this year doing something. It was cool to have my mind towards one thing.
Oh,
Always
definitely,
in
sure.
that mindset of, if I hear a story, be like, could we talk about that? I'll write it down just in case, and we'll find out if it's a good topic or not. Just always.
And we just kind of just discuss it and just see where it goes. I mean, every once in a while, we're like, we have no idea this is going to be good. Well, let's just talk about it, see where the hell it goes.
And if it's not good, and we all kind of know it's not good, we'll just jump on any tangent.
Well, we just go on a tangent. I mean, and even when they were good topics, sometimes we go on tangents.
Yeah.
I guess that's just part of the thing of having 3 different people is you're going to find a tangent, and then we go, we'll talk about that, and then eventually we'll somehow have to try to find some segue or something. But
exactly. And the thing is with this next upcoming year, I know Patrick really wants more segments, and
I definitely think a little bit more organized, so we're not constantly going off on segues.
And I'm okay with that to an extent. I do like the off the cuff conversations, and I think no matter what, I think it's still going to happen.
Sure, I mean that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that as well. But kind of keeping it under control and kind of having more regularity in the episodes, I think would be a good idea.
Sure. Like we'll have like a general topic. Like this week we'll talk about some video game stuff. Next week we'll talk about music or something. We'll find it. Maybe try to have it so everybody's a little bit more knowledgeable on it. Do a little bit more research and stuff, just so we're not just throwing in our own our previous knowledge on it and just kind of guessing at the rest.
Yeah. There's a lot of guessing through the year.
Yes.
Because because a lot of the topics get brought up just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we're just like, I think I know something about that, but
nope, I know absolutely nothing about this. I was thinking of something else.
So expect some changes on the episodes in the future. And like we said, more interviews would be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something we're going to try to work on. More interviews, more videos. I'm finally going to have a regular time to where I can start working on some videos. So I have an idea in motion. I don't really want to talk about too much yet because it's still in its infancy stages. It's not a cohesive part. There's a lot of pieces I have to gather to make it work. So that's going to take a while, because only having one day a week to really work on it, that's going to take a very long time to get it all put together. Plus, there's, I have to upgrade my computer, I think, to really get the most out of the idea. So that's going to take a while. But we'll see what happens. I mean, finally, I have a little bit more free time to start working on some video stuff. So I've got some stuff I want to do. It's just trying to find a good time to do it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I want that. I think that's always what I wanted to do, like videos and stuff. And this was kind of just a byproduct of that, and it kind of blossomed into the what it is now. And it's not done. There's a lot of changes that are going to happen, all for the better, I think. And,
we hope. We hope. We don't know. We won't know until we do it.
Try the first new thing, and it just all explodes.
You never know, and that's part of it. I mean, you just got to try something new and see what happens.
Exactly. So, so that's our anniversary episode 52. 52. Technically, I guess season 1. I guess.
Sure. Are we going to call it seasons? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of awkward calling it season.
It's our stuff, so we can do whatever we want. So I think, or year 1 or something.
Sure. Year 1, and then we can maybe do like one, or I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll see if we want to start over again or what we want. 2.01 or something. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure that out as well. But that's it. But you can expect episodes every Monday. We'll
do our best to keep up with that.
Try to be as regular as possible, and we'll just go from there. We'll. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's really it. I mean, I think we'll see what the hell happens. That's all we can do.
Exactly. So we'll leave you with some more quotes, some funny quotes from us. And
we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
I hate that saying the customer is always right. It's like, it depends. A lot of the times, actually, it's not true.
Yeah, customers need to feel that they're right.
That's actually an interesting point, and that's absolutely right. Sometimes you just have to kind of let them think they got you, and you're like, yeah, no, secretly we've won. You know, we're just not telling you we won. You know.
Yeah, when Patrick's away, the nerds
will come out and play. I guess I don't know,
but yeah, definitely, I enjoy this kind of stuff, and I think a little way, I think Patrick does too, but he doesn't want to admit to it.
No, yeah, definitely not as much as us.
He's played Dungeons and Dragons, and he plays Pokemon.
You know, I don't know why you lactate at night, Jimmy. But that's a horrible reason to be up all night.
That's a really good reason.
Well, if you were lactating, as long as you got like some milk, some cookies, I guess you'd be all right, right?
Yeah, I guess. Nerds made everything that you like, so.
Well, I don't know about that.
They made that computer. They made that shirt. They designed that shirt.
Well,
some graphic design nerd.
Hey, graphic designers are not nerds.
They're nerds.
No, they're not, Jimmy.
They're what are they, jocks?
No, they're their own fucking thing. Internet porn and math. It's like they tell me, you got to learn how to make math class relate to you, and that way you're more interested in it.
Yeah.
So, calculus. So
you can velocity and acceleration and stuff like that. There's a little bit of calculus there.
There you go. Friction and speed.
There's all sorts of physics and stuff in there.
Sweat and angles. I don't know.
That'd be one thing of you'd have random guys just all of a sudden remembering complex mathematical stuff.
I'll tell you what.
Why do I know this?
I think we just found out how to make America come back up. I'd be there every day at least, even if I didn't learn shit.
And that's funny. I bet more people are at least
attending more classes.
More guys. I don't know. I don't know about females. I know
girls watch porn too. Yeah,
right.
Hell, it's like $1 billion business, bro.
There we go. Oh man, so porn in math classes.
You only need one hand to solve a math problem.
Oh, Jimmy, I knew it.
Yep, that's our tagline.